Hi everybody! Today is Saturday, June 2nd, and it's a holiday weekend here in America. It's our 4th of July, our Independence holiday weekend, and I hope you guys are having a really good weekend so far and a great couple of weeks. This is the Brooklyn Knitfolk podcast, episode number 16. My name is Jacqueline. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as at Jacqueline Salem, basically all social medias as at Jacqueline Salem. Show notes for this episode can be found in the Brooklyn Knitfolk Ravelry group, and I think that's all the intro stuff you need to know, so let's hop to it. The 2,000 subscribers giveaway is currently underway. I passed 2,000 subscribers about 3 weeks ago, so thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed. And I wanted to show you, because I wasn't prepared last time to show you what the prizes were, what the prizes are going to be for the 2,000 subscriber giveaway. So it's inspired by this skein of yarn right here. This is Cat Sandwich Fibers, which, by the way, if you guys do not follow her on Instagram, MJ is a seriously talented dyer. Go follow her. It's Cat Sandwich Fibers. I ordered a skein of yarn from her. She sent this extra as one for the podcast, and it's called Let's All Get Margaritas. It is a gorgeous, like, kind of yellow-green color that has pink in it, speckles of dark black, some orange and hot pink in it. It's stunning. I love it. And I am building my 2,000 subscribers giveaway prize around this skein of yarn. So like I mentioned before, it's called Let's All Get Margaritas. So with that, you'll get a project bag made by me. You may have seen this fabric before in a previous episode, but I'm going to make it out of this fabric here. It's got like tequila bottles and other Mexican food loves on it. So a project bag made out of this fabric, and this is the contrast. And I'm going to get a margarita stitch marker and also a print that I design, and that's going to be a surprise. So whoever wins the 2,000 subscriber giveaway will get all those things: the yarn, the project bag, margarita stitch marker, and a custom print designed by me. So if you want to enter to win that, you can just go to the Brooklyn Knitfolk Ravelry group. The winner for the prize will only be announced on the episode. So on the next episode, I'm closing the thread before the next episode. So this is episode 16, I'll close it on episode 17, and that's how you can find out if you've won the giveaway. So if I don't hear from you within a week or two after watching, after I put out the next episode, then I'll draw for another prize winner. So yay, go enter on Ravelry. I'll remind you guys at the end of the episode just in case you forgot. So a couple things I want to mention before we jump into a works in progress and finished objects. A couple of podcasts. Oh, sorry, we have a little co-host. This is Mika. They used to make more regular appearances on the podcast, but not so much anymore. But she's my secret favorite, also the heir of Slytherin. We'll see if she'll sit with me. Podcasts I've been enjoying recently. There are two specifically that I wanted to mention. One of them I talked about briefly in the last episode, but I just wanted to put it out there again because I just enjoy it so much, and I think all of you will too. Julie, who is the genius dyer behind Sweet Sparrow yarns. I pulled these from my stash that I ordered a long time ago because I wanted to show you. So the sun is really, let's see if I can angle the camera a little bit because it's super bright. Sorry. The sun is kind of blowing it out a little bit, but this is the Sarah Crew colorway on her Magpie base. It's got gold stellina and this beautiful mauve pink color. So stunning, with flecks of navy in it. And this is her Secret Garden colorway on her tweed House Crow? Sorry, I'll put it on the screen. Hold on, it probably says on here. House Wren base, and it's a beautiful tweed base that has these lovely green blues, and again these kind of mauvey dark blush pink colors in it. Anyway, Julie is a genius designer behind Sweet Sparrow Yarns, and she's also Julie Rose Sews on Instagram. She started a podcast, I don't know, about a month ago now, I want to say, and that is the Sweet Sparrow Knits podcast. Go check her out. If you like podcasts like Little Bobbins Knits or So Sweet Violet, which is another one I'm going to talk about here in a second, you will love Sweet Sparrow Knits. She has a beautiful aesthetic. She's just like got this soft, lovely personality, and she's one of my personal friends, but that's not the only reason why I'm recommending it. I just like know her, you know, pretty well, so I feel comfortable like putting out, you know, what she's making into the world and sharing it with you guys, because I can attest that the things that she makes, not only the things that she makes and the things that she like knits, are beautiful. So just go check her out. I think you'll love her as much as I do. And then the other podcast I want to mention is So Sweet Violet with Jules. It's funny, Julie and Jules. Jules just started a podcast. She just released episode 2. Again, if you're into Little Bobbins knits, you will definitely love So Sweet Violet. So go check her out. She's definitely got the seal of approval from people like Molly of A Homespun House, Danny from Little Bobbins, of course, and Katie from Inside Number 23. So go give her a watch if you haven't already. I think you'll really enjoy it. So those are my 2 podcast recommendations, and with that we will jump into finished objects, because I have 2 this week. The first one, my Pebbles socks. This is a pattern by Mina, who is the Knitting Expat podcast, and she designed a collection of sock patterns called Beyond Vanilla Socks Part 1, which makes me assume that there's going to be a second part to be released at some point. And these are the Pebbles socks. It's just really simple stitch patterns for if you want something with a little more interest than just straight vanilla socks. These would be great patterns for you to try out. And I used Knitpicks Hawthorne Graffiti Speckle, the hand paint speckles. And then the contrasting color is Knitpicks Stroll in Dandelion. And I sort of had this whole sisters not twins philosophy with these. One of them has the yellow cuff, they both have yellow toes, one has a yellow heel. I just kind of wanted this like mismatchy look to them, and I am obsessed with how they turned out. I love them so much. They fit perfectly. I have a 56 stitch count on these, and I used my 9-inch circulars to knit these, which I really am enjoying. I love the 9-inch circular needles. The heel on this, I said in the last episode that I was going to do a heel flap and gusset, but this has the German short row heel written into her pattern. Very easy to understand, and I loved it because I didn't have to take the take the socks off of the 9-inch needles and to put them on DPNs in order to knit the heel. I could just keep going with the short row heel on the 9-inch circulars. So that was perfect, just kind of pop in that heel there. I did get a hole on both of them on one side of the heel, but I just kind of sewed it together, and I think it's pretty difficult to tell where the hole was at this point now that I've kind of sewn it up. But that's a German short row heel. The fit is really great. I do think after having, you know, tried them on a few times that if it was a little bit deeper, I would be a little happier with it. So I think I'm still going to continue trying other short row heel techniques to see what would fit best for me. But I love that I didn't have to take them off and put them on DPNs in order to continue knitting them. I also tried out 2 different toes. This one is a star toe. That's kind of what it looks like. And then on this one, I did a round toe. And I definitely can say that I prefer the round toe better. There's a Kitchener in the end, so it's seamless. The round toe fits my toes better, so I think I'll continue doing the round toe in future socks. I am 100% pleased with how the round toe fits. So still going to try out different heels, short heel techniques, and I'll probably stick with the round toe. But other than that, I feel like I learned so much from these socks. This is my first pair of finished pair of socks. I've knit 2 single socks now, and second sock syndrome hits me really hard, but I figured that knitting them concurrently, that's what works for me. So I've been knitting socks concurrently on 9-inch circulars. That's what I'm going to do from now on, and that's what I did. So with that, there was a giveaway for Mina's Beyond Vanilla Socks Part 1 collection over on my Ravelry group, and I closed that thread today, and random number generator selected, let's see here, 3 River Knits. So congratulations to Three River Knits. I've already messaged her on Ravelry, and Mina should be getting in touch with you soon to send you the pattern collection if she hasn't already. The prompt for winning Beyond Vanilla Socks is my favorite prompt that I've done so far, by far. The prompt was, tell me 3 good things that happened to you today. And I have to tell you guys, going through and reading, I could not wait. Like every night, it was like my treat before I went to sleep to read the 3 good things that you guys had mentioned that had happened to you that day. It was so wonderful. Even just like really mundane things. Like I mentioned like having a really good glass of lemonade. Like even that can count. And I think that once you start looking for all the really little good things that have happened to you, it feels like this avalanche of good things is happening to you all day long. So I hope she doesn't mind. I didn't ask her, but I'm going to share the 3 good things that Three River Knits on Ravelry mentioned as the 3 good things that happened to her. Hers were, construction outside my apartment is done, so no more loud trucks waking me up. That is a good thing. The second one was, got to work from home and stayed in my PJs all day. And the third one was, treated myself to some tapioca pudding. So, I mean, you could be really simple things like that. Don't be surprised if you see me recycling that prompt again, even if it's just for selfish reasons that I get to read all your good things that have happened to you all the time. I just really enjoy thinking about trying to reflect more often on the good things that happen to me. It makes it a lot harder to focus on the negative. So, congratulations to Three River Knits. And, yeah, those are my Rebel socks. If you haven't checked out Mina's Beyond Vanilla Socks Part 1 collection, I would definitely recommend giving it a go. It was like I said, a really nice knit. The patterns are incredibly clear and well written. I think it would be super difficult to mess these up. So if you're looking for a first sock, even if you could definitely do this. Even if you've never done a vanilla sock before, you could definitely do this one. So my second finished object is my quilt that I made for my nephew Maverick, who's coming in 2 weeks, you guys, like not even, less than 2 weeks. I unfortunately don't have it to show you, so I'm going to insert a picture of it in here so that you can kind of see the finished quilt. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I had to rush finish it because my sister started having Braxton Hicks contractions, and she wanted the quilt so that she could have his newborn pictures taken in it in the hospital. So of course I was like working like crazy to get that thing done, and I had to ship it off as soon as I finished it. So it's been gone since the beginning of this week, but I'm so pleased with how it turned out. She and her husband both love it, and I'm just thrilled with the final product. So that's finished now. I definitely have plans for other quilts in my mind. I haven't decided exactly what kind of quilt I want to make it as far as the pattern goes, but I definitely want to make a neutrals color quilt. So stay tuned for that because that will be coming up soon. And yay, so finished quilt. And now we'll move into works in progress. My first work in progress. So, you might recognize the yarn. Once you cast off one pair of socks, you must cast on another pair, so it seems, which is what I'm learning right now. You might recognize the yarn from these socks. They came from my Fine and Dandy socks, which I loved that pattern so much. I think it's beautiful, but there are several things that were wrong with how it was going. My gauge on Magic Loop is insanely loose. I have no idea why. I was already on size 0s, and it just didn't seem like fun to me to want to like go down to like 00 or 000 needles. So I've decided to shelve my dreams of 2 at a time socks and Magic Loop for now in favor of knitting on the concurrent 9-inch circulars. This yarn is Stitch Together Studio in the Crazy Cat Lady colorway. And the contrasting heels and toes that I'm going to do is the Koigu Painter's Palette Premium, and they don't name their colorways, so I can't tell you exactly what the colorway is for this, but it's kind of like a pink-orange color. That's what they look like together. Again, apologies for the sun, which is super bright right now. It's blowing out the colors a little bit, but I was going to make the monkey socks, but I have to tell you, 9-inch circular needles, while they are great, I really do like them and I've gotten used to using them, In my opinion, they're definitely kind of only good for standard knits and purls patterns. And the monkey socks had yarn overs, knit two togethers, and other techniques in them, and that was just not working on these tiny needles. It just wasn't. So I started the monkey socks on this, and I still need to kind of tink back 2 more rows on this one, and instead just started knitting this, which isn't exactly a pattern, but it looks very similar to Flying North Socks by Maria Manska, who has the Stitched in Sweden podcast. I haven't even looked at her pattern, so I'm not sure if it's exactly the same, but I'm going to link to it in the show notes anyway, just because if you want to knit these for yourself, that would be a good place to start. But basically, it's just stocking it in the round and adding 2 purl stitches on either side until you get to the center. And since this is a 56 stitch cast on, each of these kind of repeats right here will be 14 rows long, because 28 is half of 56. And so you'll do purl here, knit past purl until you kind of get to the center. I'm not sure if that's making sense, but again, if you're interested in knitting socks that look like this, the Flying North pattern by Maria Manska would be essentially exactly the same. So it's kind of this downward V shape, and I've started doing it on the back side too. I didn't do it on the top one, but I've decided to start doing it on the back as well. So that's what they're looking like so far. I've told myself, because I'm knitting concurrently and I don't want second sock syndrome to hit me, that I'm not allowed to work on this one anymore until I tink back the 2 rows and get to the same spot for this one. But I'm excited. This will be for contrasting heels and toes. I haven't quite decided if I want to put in a German short row heel or a fish lips kiss heel. Like I said, the German short row heel is a little shallow for my heel, so I want to try another short row heel. I've heard a lot about the fish lips kiss heel, obviously, but I'm not sure if it is a short row heel technique because I haven't read the pattern yet. So if it is, I might give that one a go. If not, maybe I'll just stick with the German short row heel again, just to get another pair of socks under my belt. But that is my umbrage socks, as I'm calling them because of the color. The colorway is called Crazy Cat Lady. The yarn, again, is Stitched Together Studio, and that's her Spark sock base. Yeah, I'm excited how they're turning out so far. The next project I'll show you is my Hetty shawl. Not a ton of progress made on this. Honestly, I'm kind of starting to lose steam a little bit because the edge is the part that takes the longest. So once I get through that, I know I'll just blow through the interior, but right now it's feeling like it's taking forever. Again, this is the Hetty shawl by Isolde Teague. I'm knitting it in Brooklyn Tweed Shelter in the Hayloft colorway, this gorgeous goldenrod. And I'm almost, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 5 more repeats of the cable before I get to the center, and it will have a diamond in the center, and then I just knit the opposite along the other way. Thank you so much to Julie for taking the Komodo dragon of knitting picture the other day. It was funny. We were knitting in the park and just had this around my neck because it was kind of chilly outside and I was wearing a tank top, and apparently I'm the Komodo dragon of knitting now, so thank you for that. But yeah, Hetty shawl, Isolde Teague. I'm loving how this looks. I just cannot wait to see the finished object. There's a lot of cabling in this. So right now this is kind of turning into a product knit for me, not a process knit. So I need to kind of force myself to put more attention into this. I think I'm going to focus as much as I can on this project over the next 2 weeks. Hopefully we'll finish the border at the very least by the next time I show it to you. So that's my goal, if I can pry myself away from the socks, because the socks are really fun. I will say, actually, now that I'm thinking about this, socks for me are fun because I mean, not only are they portable, like all the other reasons why people love sock knitting so much, but, oh sorry, let me turn off this air conditioning really quick. I hope you guys could hear me during that whole segment. I just turned off my air conditioning because I forgot that I had it on. Yeah, sorry about that. So hope I don't have to cut that and redo it. But anyway, sock knitting, not this. Sock knitting is fun for me because I am very practical when it comes to colors I want to pick for items that I wear on a day-to-day basis. Colors like this crazy cat lady, are fun, but it's just not a color I'm gonna wear on the day-to-day around New York City. It's just too bright for me. I prefer neutrals, darker colors, solids, stripes, simple design patterns, things like this. Timeless pieces. But the thing about socks that I really love is that I can pick out these, you know, crazy colorways like this that I would never like wear on my body, and I have a chance to actually knit with them that I wouldn't, you know, that I couldn't get with other types of garments. So I think that's one of my favorite things about knitting socks is that I can pick out those really crazy colorways and one skein kinds of projects where you just see something that you fall in love with. And yeah, that's my favorite thing about knitting socks, I think, right now. So Hetty Shawl by Soul Fatigue, Brooklyn Tweed yarn. I think this is going to block beautifully because I've felt Brooklyn Tweed in shops, like yarn shops around New York with their samples. So I can't wait to see this finished product, but it's definitely a product knit at this point because I'm kind of getting tired of knitting the same 8 rows over and over and over. So I'll be happy to finish the edge on this, and then I'll be picking up the stitches in the center, and it's basically garter decreasing, picking up stitches along the edge, and then garter knit on the interior and decreasing along the way. So excited about this, but I need to devote some time to it so that I don't lose steam and let it go to hibernation. All right, next project, Exploration Station. I'll just show it to you really quickly. Right now, this has reached hibernation status. It's because of the brioche. I love the pattern and I love the yarn. But the brioche, as you may have seen on the last episode, has given me quite a bit of trouble. It's like, it's for some reason, no matter how many tutorials I've watched, I just can't wrap my head around brioche. So I think what I'm going to do is take it to my local knitting store and see if I can't get some like one-on-one help from somebody in a knitting store as opposed to trying to figure it out on my own, because for whatever reason it's just one of those things I can't wrap my brain around. So hopefully I'll get back to this soon. I really want the finished product and I want to get going on it. It's fun to knit too. This is definitely a process knit as well. I just need to kind of get my act together with the brioche. And this lovely bag is by Engelbrett Makes, my hedgehog, lovely hedgehog bag. And you can find out what all the yarns are on my Ravelry page for this project. Most of them are Wool and Vine yarns, or half of them are Wool and Vine. And then my last work in progress, which I haven't started yet, but I have the materials for, the lovely Verena, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, I think it's Verena, of the Wool Club on Instagram. She was my swap partner for the Mandarin seasonal and local swap. And in the swap package that she sent me this really lovely kind of oatmeal gray linen fabric. And I know that I knew what it wanted to be when I saw it immediately. I want to make a boxy top out of it. And I kind of made a call for suggestions for patterns on Instagram, got some great suggestions, and I've narrowed it down to these 3. The boxy top by, or boxy tee by Pearl Soho, the Lou box top by Sew DIY, or the Scout Tee by Grainline Studios. The Scout Tee isn't exactly a boxy top, but I've had that pattern kind of saved for a while and I think it could look cool in this fabric, but I'm still leaning towards the 2 boxy top patterns because that's kind of what I have in my head for what this fabric is going to be. So I can't wait to get this sewn up. They're both the patterns that I have chosen or narrowed it down to are beginner's patterns, so I don't anticipate this taking long at all. Definitely not more than a day to kind of cut out and sew these together, and that's the beauty of sewing. So yeah, this will be a finished object very soon, hopefully. And then I'm trying to hold off on any more cast-ons, and oh my gosh, you guys, it's been so hard. These past few weeks have just been a testament to me trying not to cast on all of the things. And I think you're about to see why with some of my acquisitions that I've gotten recently. Everything I've bought and received lately is just so beautiful. I just want to cast on all the things. But I am going to be testing a fairly large project soon, and I'm going to be using my beautiful handspun Cormo yarn that I got at the Washington County Farm and Fiber Tour. So I can't wait for that, and soon I think I'm probably going to be receiving the instructions for the test knit within the next week or so. So I'm trying to hold off on casting on all the things, even though that's what I want to do right now. But I'm not casting on anything else until I finish projects that I have. Maybe. What, kitty? What? Come here. Come here. Okay. Acquisitions. So as I mentioned, I ordered from Cat Sandwich Fibers. She previews yarns that she's going to be having in her shop updates on her Instagram. So if you would like to purchase from her, there's nothing in her shop right now, but she'll always tell you on Instagram right before she has an Instagram update. And I saw this colorway, Mookite Jasper, on her Instagram feed and fell in love with it. And I missed the actual shop update day, and I will say that most of her yarns sell out in the same day that she puts them up, at least in the last two updates that I've kind of watched. But I was browsing around Etsy, and what do you know, this one and one other one were the only ones that were left in there. So I purchased it immediately because this is the one I saw on Instagram that I wanted, and I had to have it. Isn't it gorgeous? There's just kind of mauvey, goldenrod, flecks of navy, flecks of cranberry, flecks of this like electric blue. It's stunning. It is a stunning skein of yarn. So this is what I ordered. And I showed you this earlier, but she sent the Let's All Get Margaritas colorway as a gift to the Brooklyn Knitfolk podcast. So thank you so much, MJ, for this, because it inspired, like I said earlier, the giveaway for the 2,000 subscribers giveaway. So this is the one that she gave for you guys. Showed that earlier. But oh, I'm so excited about this. This is like one of those things I just wanted to cast on immediately, a pair of socks, but I'm holding off. So that's the first purchase that I made. The next one, this one was enabled by Laura of the Fawn Knits podcast. She ordered from Yarn Co. There's their logo, which I really love. And I ordered some mini skeins from them. They're 20 grams a piece, 100% superwash merino. This one is the Fog colorway, my absolute favorite of all the ones I ordered. Jafar, you're in my way. Move. This one is Mocha. And this one is Electric Meadow. And she was kind enough to include an extra skein here. This one, a mini skein, this one's Orchid. Each of them are 87 yards, 20 grams. I am in love with these. And at first I thought I just kind of wanted to put these into my Brooklyn Knitfolk log cabin blanket. But since there's so much in them, 20 grams, it seems like kind of a waste to use it just in the blanket. Maybe I should use them in like a larger multicolor Stephen West jagging garter. I don't know. Something like that. Or maybe a garter goodness. Chelsea from the Legacy Knits podcast just finished her garter goodness. And oh my gosh, that thing is gorgeous. I've had that in my queue for forever, but that is a beast of a project. It's huge. But I don't know, something where I want to like use them in an actual project, because aren't these just amazing? Love them. So again, that's Yarn Co. And then, I don't know how I managed it, you guys. Literally no idea. But if I can do it, I think it's a testament that you can too. Druzy Rising. Look at this packaging. Isn't the packaging amazing? This is a skein of silk single sock in the taffy colorway. And it's this kind of bubblegum pink with flecks of red mixed with this really bright turquoisey teal color. And it's beautiful. It's a single ply, 70% merino, 30% silk. Absolutely stunning. I don't know what this is going to be yet. Maybe socks, maybe part of a shawl, but it's absolutely gorgeous and I love it. And that's Druzy Rising Yarn. If you haven't heard of her before, follow her Instagram, but don't be shocked if you don't get it on the first try because her updates, not kidding, sell out in under 2 minutes. They are a bloodbath. She also included this mini skein of paper lantern. Another gorgeous kind of red pink color. I can't believe it, but if I can do it, you can too. So just keep trying for all of you who are dying to get Druzy yarn. Druzy Rising Yarn. Here's her tag. Really well designed. Comes with some stitch markers. Some personalization. I love these touches like this. It just kind of makes it, you know? And then finally, my last acquisition. It's huge. It's a gift. So as I mentioned, I participated in the Mandarins seasonal and local swap. And I was paired with a partner from Croatia, which I haven't received her package yet, but some people still wanted to participate even after Melody closed the spots for the swap. And Verena was one of them. And so I told her, hey, I'm happy to have 2 partners. And oh my gosh, am I glad that I did, because her aesthetic literally is exactly the same to mine. We both joked that we could shop for ourselves and it would be fine because we both like the exact same things. So you'll see what I mean. This lovely notebook, handmade illustrations. It's vegan hot chocolate. She's from Germany, by the way, from Berlin, so all the things are seasonal or local to Berlin or the south of Germany, where she's originally from, but she currently lives in Berlin. This awesome label has a J on it, so I can maybe add that. I should add that to my boxy top, whichever one I make with my linen fabric. The linen fabric, by the way, was also something she sent in this. This feather printed fabric, it's lovely. Oh, I just love this so much. Some tea and yarn. Holy goodness, yarn. Oh, let me show this first before I get to the yarn. Some lotion, because she knows I love makeup, and this lip balm. Okay, the yarn. I'll show you the mini skeins that she sent me first for my log cabin blanket. Make sure I got everything. Yep. So these amazing neutrals mini skeins and this pop of pink, which I'm obsessed with pink right now, if you couldn't tell by the socks I've made and from my hot pink nails, or Barbie pink nails. These lovely mini skeins. I'm going to butcher the names of these things because I can't pronounce German, but Schoppel? It's sock yarn and it looks like it's patterned, but there isn't a picture of it, so I'm not 100% certain of that. So, it'd be great for socks. This skein of Hey Mama Wolf, which is a local dyer to her. It's a gorgeous, looks like worsted gray yarn that has flecks of kind of purple and blue in it. Stunning. A local dyer to her. And Hey Mama Wolf has a beautiful Instagram feed. I just started following her today, so that I would definitely check her out if you kind of like the aesthetics of Rebecca Desnos or Mandarins. Same goes for Verena. If you love Mandarins kind of aesthetic, you will love the Wool Club's Instagram feed. It's beautiful. And she also has designed these gorgeous pair of socks. She just released them this previous week. They're called the Tulsi socks. They're so pretty. I considered knitting those, but again, because my gauge is so loose on Magic Loop and my 9-inch circulars to me are only comfortable and good for just standard knits and purls, I've decided I have to kind of wait to knit those until I kind of figure out my situation on Magic Loop. I can knit on DPNs, but DPNs feel slow to me. Anyway, So this gorgeous skein of the Hey Mama Wolf, and the skein is called Disorder, the colorway name. My two favorites. I can't even decide what to show next. This Woolmeise in this gorgeous hunter green color. What's the colorway name? Crocodile. Look at this. So stunning. Fingering weight. And then my number one fave, Frida Fuchs? I don't know how to pronounce the last part of that. Check out this dyer. I cannot imagine a more beautiful yarn than this. It's like a blush pink tan color, and it's called Seosam? 80% merino, 10% nylon, 10% cashmere, MCN. Look how gorgeous this is. Can you even? Because I cannot. So the Wool Club wins for literally best taste ever. Again, because it's exactly the same as mine. I can't wait for her to get my package, and yeah, super excited. Thank you so much, Verena. This is like beyond what I could have ever imagined for a swap. In love. She also sent some cat treats for my kitties, which was so thoughtful, but customs had to ruin it and take it because apparently it has chicken in it, and that counts as bird products, which are not allowed into the US from Germany. So sorry kitties, but they're on a diet anyway, so they shouldn't be getting it. Alright, so those are all the things that are the woolly goodness stuff. There's only a couple more things I want to talk about, and that's just things I'm loving lately. The first is not a new thing by any means, but it's an album that I've just rediscovered this previous week and obsessed with. I just keep listening to it over and over. If you like R&B music, definitely check out Frank Ocean, specifically his Nostalgia Ultra album. I just like keep listening to that on repeat. Like I said, nothing new for anybody who's like really into music. You've probably heard this before, but if you haven't heard of Frank Ocean and like R&B music, which I love, it's like my favorite, then definitely give that album a listen. And then the last thing, Jesse Williams, he's known for his role in Grey's Anatomy. He recently won the Humanitarian Award for the BET Awards, and there is a speech that he gave on racism and white appropriation of Black culture that it was so powerful and moving, and so moving that I listened to the speech over and over and over until I could write down this one portion of it that I just thought was so powerful, and I wanted to share it with you. Just a short excerpt. Let's get a couple things straight. The burden of the brutalized is not to comfort the bystander. That's not our job. If you have a critique for the resistance, you better have an established record of critique of our oppression. If you have no interest in equal rights for Black people, then do not make suggestions for those who do. We're done watching and waiting while this invention called whiteness uses and abuses us, burying Black people out of sight and out of mind while extracting our culture, our dollars, our entertainment like oil, ghettoizing and demeaning our creations, then stealing them, gentrifying our genius, and then trying us on like costumes before discarding our bodies like rinds of strange fruit. I heard that and I was just like, holy shit, wow. Like, I don't want to kind of talk too much about this, but I just kind of wanted to share that with you because I thought it was really important and powerful. And yeah, so I hope that you found that as interesting as I did and as powerful as I did. And you can check out the full speech online. I'm sure it's everywhere by now. But yeah. And that's really the only things I have to talk to you about today. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you like Brooklyn Knitfolk, please subscribe. You can find me again as @JacquelineSalem on Instagram. You can enter all the giveaways and all the things and find show notes for the podcast on the Brooklyn Knitfolk Ravelry group. And don't forget to enter the 2,000 subscribers giveaway, my kind of margarita themed giveaway, if you will. And with that, I'll say goodbye for now, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye! Mwah.